All right, let's talk about it. Condo maintenance fees. If you've been anywhere near the internet or near my channel, you've seen comments like this one. Unfortunately, those large condos come with killer maintenance fees that make ownership just not worth it. Or this gem. Condos are the biggest scam long term. Fees are like a mortgage for life and will double every 8 years. And then there's my personal favorite, never buy a condo. Look, I get it. Condo fees are like the bad guy, an expense you can't escape that only seems to get worse over time. But are they really as bad as some people say? Or is there more to this story? Today, I'm going to be breaking it all down. We'll look at what these fees actually cover, compare them to the hidden costs of owning a house, and analyze real-life examples of Toronto condos and homes. And here's the kicker. By the end of this video, you might just have a totally different perspective on maintenance fees. So let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. What exactly are condo maintenance fees? These fees keep the building and its shared spaces in good shape. I mean, it's pretty simple. And here's how they typically break down. So first off, you've got common areas, which are hallways, lobbies, parking garages, and amenities like gyms or pools. Then you have utilities. In some buildings, things like hydro, heating, and water are all bundled into your fees. So that's one less thing you have to budget for separately. Then you have building insurance, covers the structure itself, while you're still responsible for your own unit's contents. And then you have the reserve fund contribution. So think of this as your condo's rainy day fund, saving up for major repairs and replacements like a new roof or elevator. Now I know what some of you are screaming right now. What about some of those condos with fees over $1,000 a month? I know sometimes those sound like a ripoff, but it's not always that simple. Fees this high are often found in older buildings with larger units, and they generally include quite a lot. So on top of the usual things, those fees can sometimes even cover cable and taxes and even internet. And remember, fees are calculated on a per square foot basis. So when you're buying larger units, it just generally means you're going to have to pay larger maintenance fees. And remember, they also factor in your share of maintaining big ticket items like pools and concierge services. So yes, those fees may feel hefty, but they're paying for things you'd otherwise need to manage and pay for yourself. And that brings us to the real question. How does this compare to owning a house? All right, let's flip the script. What about owning a house? Sure, there's no monthly maintenance fees, but that doesn't mean you're completely off the hook for expenses. Houses come with their own set of costs, and trust me, they can add up pretty fast. According to the CMHC, homeowners should budget about 1 to 3% of their home's value annually for maintenance. So for $1 million home, that means you're looking at anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 a year. I know it's not going to always be that amount, but they're factoring in some of the large ticket expenses you'd have over the course of owning a home. But now here's where it gets tricky, and I know some of you are probably saying this. Newer homes often have fewer issues in the first few years, especially if you have Terry-owned warranty, but that doesn't mean zero costs. Landscaping, driveway upkeep, and a lot of small repairs can still run you anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a year. Older homes, I mean, that's a whole different story. Aging infrastructure like roofs, HVAC systems, and plumbing can lead to unexpected and expensive repairs. A bad year could hit you with $10,000 to $30,000 just in one go for that one repair. So while houses don't have a monthly fee, the unpredictable nature of those costs can be just as draining, if not more, on your wallet. And to really understand this, let's get into the numbers. All right, now let's get specific. We're going to compare 5 very different family-sized condos in our under-the-radar neighborhood of York and Toronto and see how their maintenance fees stack up, what's included, and what kind of value they offer. And remember, these are family-sized condos. We're not looking at tiny little one-bedrooms to give it a fair comparison to a house. Then we'll bring in some houses for comparison, because if we're really going to answer whether condos are worth it, we need to show how they measure up to their freehold competition. So first up, let's look at Hickory. It's an older high-rise condo where fees come in at a hefty $1,027 a month. But here's why. Those fees include everything: hydro, heating, water, cable TV, central air, parking, building insurance, and even a massage every time you enter the lobby. I mean, okay, so that last one obviously isn't true, but those fees include a lot. It's the kind of setup that appeals to people who want predictable monthly costs and zero surprises. Next up, we have Connolly, a boutique infill condo project with fees around $464 a month. So lower fees, also fewer amenities, no amenities, but also fewer people sharing the cost, which sometimes can be risky when repairs are needed, but with the size and scale of the buildings, the repair bills would likely just be on par with a standard large Toronto home, so I wouldn't be too afraid there. Number 3, you have Brickworks. It offers a unique setup. It's a freehold townhouse with a small condo fee of $353 a month for the shared landscaping and exterior upkeep. So it's a nice balance of independence of homeownership with shared costs. Coming in at number 4, we have 1603 Eglinton Avenue West, and this is what we see most of in Toronto when we think about condos. So the fees are $941 a month, reflecting more amenities like a rooftop terrace and concierge. So the downside though, because it's a newer condo, some of the reserve funds are still maturing, so these fees could potentially rise in the future. But again, this is a condo with a lot of amenities and a lot of units, so I wouldn't be, again, too afraid there. Coming in at number 5, we have Briar Hill. It's a condo townhouse hybrid with fees of $580 a month, covering shared spaces, but leaving individual interior repairs to you. This is a really nice condo townhouse, and I'm actually shocked it's still on the market, but with these condo townhouses, it's truly the hybrid of that kind of freehold feeling, but you still have that condo element that covers all the shared spaces, your parking, all that kind of stuff, and exterior maintenance. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, so I know condos aren't that pricey, but houses still don't have a monthly fee. Okay, so what happens then when you strip away that monthly fee and take on the responsibility of maintaining a house? Does it save you money, or does it just shift the stress to a different part of your budget? Let's take a look at the numbers for houses in the same under-the-radar Toronto neighborhood and find out. And again, for some of these estimates, we're using CMHC approximates here. So yes, every house will be different in terms of the upkeep and how much you invest into it, but CMHC numbers are pretty accurate from my experience. So let's start with 62 Earlsdale Avenue, which is a new build. It has a carry-on warranty, and this new home will likely avoid a lot of the big ticket repairs. But tell you a little story. I bought a house just like this one from this same builder, and I can say that my own annual cost for landscaping and upkeep and all the other little things that I had to do around the house still ran me anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a year. And that's not including some of the utilities also on top of that would boost that up even higher. Now let's look at 533 McRoberts Avenue, which is an older bungalow. So older homes like McRoberts often face anywhere from $7,000 to $12,000 annually for aging systems and unexpected issues. And then finally, let's look at 94 Fairbank. Fairbank is a more middle of the road, but you're still looking at $7,000 to $10,000 annually. Plus, if you need to do any upgrades or any other fixes, because again, it's an older home. So here's what we're seeing. Overall, older condos and older houses are pretty similar in annual costs, and new builds, whether houses or condos, start cheaper but catch up. And with new houses, they probably have the edge there where, at least in the first 5 to 7 years, you're probably not paying that much if you were to compare to the monthly maintenance fees on a new build condo. But that's just the surface. Let's dig a little deeper to see why some people prefer the predictability of condos while others are willing to take on the risks of a house. But before we get into that, I know what you're thinking. You didn't talk about those special assessments and some of the condo mismanagement that come along with buying a condo. Those are valid concerns, and that's why due diligence, it's everything when buying a condo. Or even a house, but here's 3 things you need to know when you're looking to buy a condo. The first thing is the status certificate. So this document is like a report card for the condo's financial health. It'll tell you how much money is in the reserve fund, whether there are any upcoming major repairs, and if the condo corporation has any pending lawsuits. A good lawyer will not only review this document, but also reach out to the condo management team for additional context. This step alone can save you thousands or even tens of thousands down the road. And on the topic of lawyers, hire a lawyer. You need someone who specializes in real estate. A good lawyer can flag potential issues like outdated reserve funds or poorly written bylaws. They'll also spot red flags that might not be obvious to the average buyer or even realtor, like inconsistent maintenance records or excessive spending by the condo board. Then third, Google, Reddit, and ChatGPT are your friend. It sounds simple, but you'd be surprised how much you can learn by searching the building's name online. Forums like Reddit often have honest reviews from current or past residents, and even a basic search can uncover hidden red flags like repeated flooding issues or ongoing battle with a poorly managed condo board. Oh, but on the topic of all that, houses aren't immune to massive repair costs either. Roof replacements and HVAC fixes are one thing, but if you run into structural issues or foundation problems, those repairs can easily climb into the mid 5-figure range. Maybe even upwards of 6 figures if it's really bad. And unlike condos, where you share those costs with your neighbors, with a house, you're 100% on the hook for the full cost of those repairs. That's why when you look at a house, a home inspection can prove to be the best $700 to $1,000 you've ever spent. But remember, inspectors don't have X-ray vision, they can't see through walls or predict future issues. There can still be problems lurking in the house that no one notices until it's too late. So, are condo maintenance fees really the villain here? Not necessarily, and let's recap what we've learned. Older condos and older houses often end up costing about the same annually, but you're paying for two very different experiences. With condos, you're buying convenience and predictability. You know what your monthly costs are, and you don't have to stress about surprise expenses like a new roof. With houses, you get control. Want to redo your landscaping or update your kitchen? Go for it. It's all up to you so long as you have the budget. But with that control comes unpredictability, especially as houses age. So here's the question. Do you want to pay a little more for peace of mind, or are you willing to roll the dice on lower monthly costs in exchange for more responsibility? There's no one-size-fits-all answer here, but understanding the trade-offs can help you make the decision that's right for you, and that's the real takeaway. So if you're stuck on this decision, don't go it alone. I've helped countless clients figure out whether a house or a condo or something in between is the right fit, and I can help you too. So reach out via the link in the description or email me, josh@realestateundertheradar.com. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into Toronto real estate, and share this video with someone who's debating that condo versus house. So thanks for watching. Peace out.